It's the Flying Pig pub. It's Stratton. I don't know how to contact him anymore. I know he's out there somewhere. Welcome to a Judas reading. It's Richard Bach. It's this book called One. And something was said today. And you must know I never look into these things before I do them. I need to see them as they happen. There's some form of reality in there. It's not like we're doing law. Symbolic, I guess. I had talked recently about the people you are likely to find in militias. See, I had the opportunity to go to war, and I went. And so I've thought about it, and I've said this to people who haven't been to war that sit there and go, ah. I say, it's not such a big fucking deal. The biggest problem I would have had with war is not having had an experience with it. People want to go to war so bad. They don't. These people, they get out of the army before they have a chance to go to war, and they hate the army all the time they're there. And then they get tattoos. There's a tattoo on the chest or something. And it's like, what? But I understand that I didn't properly relate to these people that didn't get to go to war. This is the thing we talk about. You get to go to war. They're like, oh, what a horrific thing. It's an opportunity which you must respect. The idea of somebody that was that close, even if it's only for a couple of years of being in the military, to going to war, when you take that away from them, they want it. It's like teaching somebody Kung Fu or CPR, never getting in a fight, never saving a life. These people have problems that they have to deal with. Didn't go to war? Huh. And here, as I'm reading this morning, this Richard Bach writes a story called One. Somewhere in here, he's talking about, she shook, maybe Attila's part of me too. I know. Okay, so I'm just going to start reading. I know you came here to see me read. If this is a Judas reading, it's about reading, so I'll just do it. We're going to get to the point. Let's go. He was a ghost, and so were we. I said, that must be the difference. I slumped, exhausted, disbelieving. Attila had turned every one of his choices to hatred and destruction for the sake of a wicked God that didn't exist. Why? I'm about to tell you. We flew in silence for a while, my wheel spinning down from overdrive twice now as modern lieutenant, an ancient general, I had seen myself as a destroyer, and I didn't know why. Are the veterans of even a peacetime military haunted by what might have been? By what they could have done? Me? Attila the Hun? I said, and yet, compared with the pilot who incinerated Kiev, Attila was a pussycat. This is it. That's it. That right there, when I read it this morning, it validated all the things I know about the old friends I have that are wanting to be part of militias. They're like, ah! And it's like, because you didn't get to fight? The day you get to fight is the day you fight me. Because I don't need a fucking fight. You suck-ass little bitches in your militias playing your games, I bet you $1, probably 70 to 90% of you got out before you ever went to war. And when you got out and war began, you said, gosh, I missed my chance. You got out because you fucking hated it and you didn't want anything to do with it. Now you feel like a suck ass because, oh, I have to tell my friends I could have been something. What happens to the peacetime military? They become troubles in the aftermath. Don't tell me, because I know you, that you were going to be a warrior. You wanted out. You didn't like it any more than I did. The gift that I have is that I got to go and be a welcome part in the war. There's more. There's more. I used a piece of toilet paper for a bookmark because I don't have enough bookmarks to go around. There's something right here. Let me clear my throat. Don't forget, you have to question yourself about this. I cannot question you. You know what it is that makes you want to be a part of this thing that you have chosen to be. To show off, to be a hero. Heroes die. To the truth for any who will read, they are life to those who will listen. When I was a child, the light promised that the pages would come to my hand on the night that you should appear. Now that I am old, you have come. And they will change the world, I said. He looked at me strangely. He said, no. But they were given to you, these pages. In test, he said. Test? I have traveled far, he said. I have studied scriptures of 100 faiths, from Cathay to the Northlands. His eyes twinkled. And in spite of my study, I have learned In spite of my study, I have learned. Do you understand what this means? This means that everything they teach you isn't necessarily correct. It is up to us as individuals in these little slits of fucking humanity. Imagine being part of humanity and finding out you're there and looking around and realizing everybody around me is animal. We have to be a little bit of an animal, a little bit of fucking Asperger. You have to step above your emotions at times if you are going to be a valid individual in your own life, because your life affects everybody around you. You get to choose what it is you are now. And if you choose to be something that doesn't change your neighbor, then you are nothing but your neighbor. Let your neighbor look. Give him a different aspect of it. Oh, that's not written here. Sorry. This is interesting. This, I had to use a bookmark. Might as well use it. Yet only hearts hold light. And in spite of my study, it's amazing how much I've learned with the shit that's gotten in my way along the way. It's amazing how little others learn when they're giving the information that they're giving in their studies. I have learned. There's a difference between being taught and being learned. Being taught says it does what it's told. It puts the lotion in the basket. To learn, that's the only time you get to be by yourself. That's the only time you get to be yourself, is the moment when you learn. You glean. You implore. You take the information you have and you decide for yourself. You, if you can do this, are yourself. Outside of that, well, here we go. And in spite of my study, I have learned. Every grand religion begins in light, yet only hearts hold light. Pages cannot. Pages cannot. But you have in your hands, I said, you must read it. It's beautiful. So I say in an alternate universe. I have paper in my hands, said the elder. Give Elder Quest? You ever make the connection? It's all coming around now, isn't it? Give these words to the world, and they will be loved and understood by those who already know their truth. But before we give them, we must name them. and that will be their death. To name a beautiful thing is to kill it? He looked at me surprised. To name a thing is harmless. To name these ideas is to create a religion. Why? He smiled, handing me the manuscript. I give these pages to you? There was a question mark at the end, and I answered, Richard, I told him. I give these pages, and when I read that, I said, I know what he means by that. There is no Richard in scriptures. There is no Brandon in scriptures. These names are names that they give us. They need names to hold the truth under shackles, under bereavement. I give these pages directly from the light of love to you, Richard. Do you want to give them in turn to the world, to people yearning to know what they say, to ones who have not been privileged to stand at this place in this moment the gift was given? I give these pages directly from the light of love to you, Richard. Do you want to give them to the world, to people yearning to know what they say, people waiting for this, to ones who have not been privileged to stand at this place in the moment the gift was given, to see the fire speak to a man as the words come to him, to stand in the light? Do you want to give it to these people? At this place in the moment the gift was given? Or do you want to keep this writing for yourself alone? And at this point, when I am asked, do I want to keep this writing as a gift to myself alone? Immediately, I want to say, no, I want to share this. But immediately, you want to talk about a nexus? Immediately, I knew, yes, I must. Because if they take this from me, they take something from all of us. I want to give them, of course. What is he? And what will you call your gift? That's what he says next. And what will you call your gift? This gift of information, of knowledge, of love. What will you call this gift? What is he getting at? I wondered. Does it matter? If you do not name it, others will. They will call it the Book of Richard. They will name it. And what I know for a fact, that my name, well, Judas is in the Bible, but he's not a saint, right? My name, the one that is not spoken. It's not in the Bible anywhere. I not only have a name that is not in the Bible, I also have a name, my confirmation name, a quiet, secret name. It is not in the Bible. What do you want? If you give, that's enough of that. But this comes to this. What I give to you, what I could give to you, I shan't. I shall not give this thing I have to offer because it's a thing of healing. And when I look at the healings that I've learned from being all the way to the east and over the fucking planet and around everything we know, almost, I feel the need to share with you how to heal, how to save yourself, and what I have come up with on the path to healing and salvation, the accelerated correspondent healing. I will not give to you. Because why? I have tested it on myself, my learnings, the esoteric knowledge that happens in the place of an individual. It's not about me. It's about any one of us that gets to be an individual and doesn't get sucked in by the bullshit loyalty of your neighbor, your wife, your children, your father. I will never say mother, because mother, if she is a part of it, is a victim. She's a victim of her husband. And she will tell you these things, but she won't believe them. A mother is strong. A mother knows how to survive. I have things that I can do that I don't share. I have shared with the father of Lamont. And by me just simply explaining these things I have learned about humanity and how strong we are, I watched a man say, "It's the first time in years I haven't felt pain." And he went running. And then I saw him like 3 to 6 months later. I said, "Did that hold up?" And he said, "I feel great." He'd been in pain for a very long time. And so this is this. I say, I cannot share this with you because you will take this and you will name it. You will call it Christian Science. And the interesting thing is, it didn't take Christ to teach Judas what to do.